A lot of my new patients come in and we get to the discussion of blood work and they start mentioning their experience with blood work in the past with their different doctors or even hospitals. And a lot of times it seems lacking. And these people are very upset with what they've gone through. Either that the blood work itself wasn't thorough, that the patient sometimes comes into my office knowing from Dr. Google how many different great blood tests there are for their thyroid, for example, but their doctor only did one thing, just check TSH, or two things of their thyroid, when really they know there should be 5 or even 8 different tests of their thyroid. They're also frustrated that nobody spends any time going over the blood work with them. They maybe get a phone call from a office assistant. Oh, the doctor wants to come in to give you a prescription. They don't go over all the different things on the blood work itself, or that just the blood work itself is maybe 1 page, maybe a page and a half long, and they know there's other things going on in their body. Thorough blood work, a real full evaluation, just from a page standpoint, not that really matters, but typically 9 to 12 pages is what my average blood work on one of my patients that's starting up looks like. We're looking in depth at hormones, at the full thyroid panels, at different inflammatory markers in different systems of the body. We're going deeper into the cholesterol. It's not just HDL and LDL. But there's so many different ways that can go. But the biggest thing is that I spend time with my patients, and that's what they really they love and enjoy and find the value in. Going over blood work takes 45 minutes to an hour to really go over everything that's in there, to make sure that you understand, and we both understand actually, the breadth and scope of what's going on in your body. Everything from the bad and the good. It's important to know what's working well and what that means for you, and what that means over time, looking at, oh wow, over the past 3 years, these particular values are really stable. That means, this is really not going to be a problem for you in your life. And that's important to understand just as much as the values that aren't in range, that are showing us that there's problems. And what do they mean? And did your doctor skip over certain values? Like a really common one is in our CBC, our complete blood count. A lot of doctors just skip over the fact that things like MCV, MCHV, these tests are out of range. And my patients come in, both new ones and old ones that had a conventional doctor's visit, and they're like, why didn't they talk about it? I saw this on the thing, it said H that it's high, or L that it's low, but they didn't say anything about it, or they said it was normal. But how could it be normal if it says high or low? And that's just got to be so frustrating. Those values are really tight and they're really important for a reason. Anything out of range should be discussed, at least why it's okay or why it's not okay. And there are great doctors out there. I don't want to take that from them. They really are. But unfortunately, for a lot of people, and maybe they're just overworked, there's not enough time going into these things that we all deserve. We all deserve to really have some time spent going over what's going on in our bodies so we completely understand it, because understanding it is empowering. And when you know what's going on inside your blood, it tells you a big story about why you might be feeling the way you're feeling, and then we can actually create some action steps around that to change it. But if you don't know why you're feeling the way you're feeling, you can't do anything. There's no results. So really important, guys, get your blood work done thoroughly. Spend the time. Find someone who's going to spend the time with you to really go over it, analyze it, and tell you what it means. Not just, oh, this thing is low, you got to take this to make it go up. What does it mean for how your body's total function is going on? What can we do to improve that total function? It's not just about taking vitamins, actually. It's about looking at the bigger picture. How is my body actually working? And what can I do to make it work better? Because it will fix all those values on its own if you really get down to the cause-based level of why these imbalances are happening. Take it easy.